Bev's Video Kingdom is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised.
I can brag your favorite podcast. Let's start this thing. Woo!
Vroom, vroom, y'all. It is Thursday. And I thought I'd just go vroom, vroom.
Vroom, vroom, motherfucker.
Vroom, vroom. I will say that my family, we have we actually have some board games that are racing games, and we play them quite often. And we made a racing playlist to listen to as we play these racing board games. And there's this one song, I don't even know where we found it.
So intense, dude.
Oh, there's the Grand Prix. Grand Prix, if you're a board gamer, Grand Prix is an excellent F1 simulation.
You listen to like intense music while you're playing it?
Well, it's all related to racing. So it's like songs from the car soundtrack, like just random anything related to cars can be on it. But there's this one song we found. It's like an English like dance song. This guy's like, he's like, your car goes boom boom blah, your car goes bang bang bang, your car goes blah blah blah. He's like, my car goes swish, swish. It's just like the stupidest thing.
Is that
ever.
Chumbawamba?
I don't even know what it. But then he starts rapping about race cars and like his car's the best. But
that sounds awesome.
It's the stupidest song you ever heard. I'll play it for you later. But I love it so much.
The car soundtrack.
My car goes. Psh, psh.
What song do you have from the car soundtrack?
Just some like the instrumentals, Randy Newman's instrumentals.
Life is a Highway.
Oh, we do have Life is a Highways on there. We have the Sheryl Crow one.
Oh yeah.
Dude. I'm American made.
We're heading to California Adventure tomorrow, and I
jump on that Radiator Springs Racers, baby.
Just go racing with Lightning McQueen.
I talk so much shit when I've been on that ride. I talk so much shit. As soon as we pull up next to the other car, I'm just like, going down. Fuck yeah, I just start getting out. I turn the hat around. I'm just like fired up. I'm screaming at them. Oh yeah, it gets intense. And then,
what are your kids doing?
Oh,
hiding their faces.
If any of them have the wheel, I just start talking shit. You better win this thing, Robin's racing. You know what you got to do. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's vicious.
I picture Brad as like not a completely intense parent, but when like there's racing involved, he's like, "Come on, Brad, come on!"
All the Days of Thunder quotes start just like flowing.
Oh yeah. No, we get into it, and so we get out, and like, when we lose, I'm kind of a sore loser.
Yeah. You're like, you can walk back to the car.
Pretty much. All right. But we are here tonight for a draft. And our draft is going to be the best drivers
of a car
in film. And we're talking about vehicles that have four wheels and drive on roads. We're not talking about
pneumatic wheels,
spaceships. We're not talking about
no pod racing,
airplanes, pod racing,
ships.
Nah, none of that. It can't be a boat.
What about shooting wombats?
It can't be a jockey, horse, or a
motorcycle
pig situation.
Motorcycles, I think, would be acceptable.
But where do they ride pigs, Nick?
They don't drive motorcycles. They ride motorcycles.
Yeah, so fuck that. We're doing drivers. So, yeah, no motorcycles.
Yeah, no, motorcycles can't be in the thing.
Sorry, Rad. You can't be on a bicycle.
You just said it has to have 4 pneumatic tires.
Sorry, Pee Wee Herman. You're not involved in this draft.
Although he did win the Tour de France in his dream. Oh, so anything we need to clarify? So I think we've clarified it pretty much the way we need to.
I think so.
I'm clarified.
Yeah.
We all clarified.
So clarified.
Clarified
like butter.
Like butter,
like Red Lobster butter.
So it's driver in a movie, not racing in a movie, but just driving in a movie.
Best
driver.
driver.
Yeah, you don't have to be racing.
Okay.
100%.
That was the only little
not a racer.
Although it helps if someone's chasing you.
Right.
Not always.
Ain't no racer.
Not always.
Ain't no tracer.
All right, so I'm not only the host tonight, but I'm responsible for the draft order. So I went down to my local dealership, and you know what? I'm a big fan of the old muscle cars, and so nowadays they have like the new versions of them, and some of them look pretty cool. So I went over to the Dodge dealership, and I was like, "Hey, can I take this Challenger for a test drive?" And they're like, "Yeah, go for it." So I got in there, and I drove off. They said I got 15 minutes. So I went to a parking lot and just did donuts for 15 minutes. I just lit up the tires, was just spinning it, just as aggressive as I could, because my little hybrid car is not going to do that. My wife's Explorer is not going to do that. So I just needed to get some tension out, just release a little bit. So just donuts for days. And then as I drove off, I stopped real quick and I was like, "Ooh, what the fuck?" I looked at those skid marks and they had turned into, it was actually like numbers.
When did you take your underwear off?
and in my underwear, it said on the tag, it said,
what
Zach.
a weird thing that skid marks not only are something that you can do that's hella cool in a car
And hella not cool.
hella not cool
Hanes.
in your pants.
Oh, my daughter's too young to be embarrassed by this, but the other day I handed her a pair of panties and she goes, "Daddy, these panties are dirty. These panties are dirty." I was like, "I just took them out of the laundry, babe. They're not dirty." She's like, "Look at them. Look at, there's brown on them." I was like, "Yeah, that's because you shit yourself at some point and we repurposed them." Those are just skid marks. Those are just skid marks. They've been washed, babe. Put them on. You gotta go to
Oh
school.
my Lord.
It's not called washing in Zach's house. It's called repurposing.
When you shit in something, yes, it needs to be repurposed.
Oh boy. Well, the skid marks I was looking at were from rubber meeting asphalt, and that's what I looked at. And my skid marks that I did for 15 minutes.
It's long skid marks.
15-minute skid mark.
All the sweat in my ass crack.
Scott's got an
the
idea
seat.
for a commercial.
I looked at them though, and there was actually some numbers and some names. I don't know. I didn't think I was doing anything when I just was doing donuts, but somehow I drew out some names. And the first one, it said Brad.
Of course.
That's like
It's literally like 8 in a row.
weeks in a row.
This is like 3 out of the last 4 weeks. I think my name has been first. And I hate the first pick, but not tonight. Actually, I'm excited about
Oh, now I'm excited.
the second pick, our newcomer to the draft.
Oh,
Okay.
Scotty
Scotch
I
Beck
see.
making his draft debut, drafting from the 2-hole,
I think it's pronounced debut.
Debut at 2.
the debut,
Yeah.
with all the skid marks.
The judge is about to be judged.
Yeah, we're going to see how that goes, because I don't even know what does it mean if Scotch gets a win tonight? Like, I mean,
It doesn't count for Nate. Because why? Fuck Nate.
right? But does it make you feel sad if he gets a win just instantly?
I think it should count for me. I think I should have 2 names in the hat for this draft.
The number 3, that last little or the third one there, it was Nick. Third pick.
fine.
Third pick, Nick.
Nick Beazles.
I've done magic from the 3-hole.
That means I get the best pick in the draft.
That early rap 4 or 5
Pressure's on, though.
is Zach.
I got that fucking rap style, son. That skiddy rap. Skid mark, son.
I don't necessarily know if I needed the number 1 pick to get this, but I 100% was excited to get the number 1 pick because I wanted to guarantee.
Is there a clear 1 of 1 in this draft?
For me, there is, because I've seen, as much as I've not seen some of the old like car chase movies and stuff, the 70s they were a staple of. I grew up watching a lot of those scenes just because like my uncle and my grandpa both been race car drivers. They would talk about them, and once YouTube came out, I was like, I got to see all these scenes. So I've watched like a lot of the car chase scenes just to see what they're like. And
So is it clear, and is it Tom Cruise?
no, 100% it is not. And this one for me is just, it's dear to me because it's one of my favorite directors of all time, and it's just an amazing combination of music, style, cinematography, and just downright badass driving. And I'm
Are you
taking
going Edgar Wright?
Baby.
Oh my God.
Baby
I thought
Driver.
that was going to be around for
Son
a
of
while.
Wow, Brad.
No, did not need to be around, because if you really watch that scene,
What's the
he's
kid's
doing-
name? Ansel Ongord or something?
Ansel,
Ansel
Elgore.
El Gore, and he's doing. I mean, obviously he's not the one driving, but it reminds me a lot. So if you want to watch some magnificent stuff, go to YouTube and look up Kim Block Gymkhana videos.
Dude, it's absolutely insane.
Because he's got about, I think, 10 or 12 of them now at this point, and he goes to different cities and he just shreds in his.
He's got like one of those cars where the stick shift is like a foot above his head.
Well, the e-brake is giant too. So, I
Dude,
mean, he's
it's
just constantly
the
pulling the
craziest
e-brake, and
shit.
it's like just doing the most ridiculous shit. And that's what it reminds me of, because those Kim Block videos are amazing, and this is what Baby was doing in Baby Driver. So
Can I hijack the thread really quick and just say that, do you guys remember remember a movie from the early 80s called Gymkhana? That was a guy that was like an Olympic.
What the hell is his name?
He was a gymnast.
Mitch Gaylord, I think.
Dude.
Or what was it? Mitch Gaylord?
I think that's who it is.
He was an
Jim
Olympic
Cotta.
gymnast.
It mixed gymnastics and karate.
Yes, and he went and like fought ninjas, and it was like the most like you want to talk about special effects that don't hold up. Holy shit!
There happens to be a little wooden thing out there in the middle of the yard that looks like
it's a pommel horse.
Looks like a pommel horse, and he just starts kicking the shit out of like
and he's doing like
17 dudes.
That's so fucking great, you guys. You guys are the first people that I've talked to about that.
I've never seen it, but I've seen enough. I've seen.
I remember watching it as a kid, and like it's kind of violent. And I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be watching this. And then I started watching it. I was like, even as a kid, I was like, this is the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen. But I was into it, bro. I wanted to. I asked for a pommel horse for Christmas. I was like just like Jim Cotta.
Jim Cotta.
No, dude, you won't find anything about it.
Yeah,
I'm telling you that it's an obscure.
No, I put in Gymkhana. I put in the same the Kim block. So Gymkhana 85,
dude, and it's wild, bad quality too.
Come on, yeah. Let's see if Scotch Beck was on.
I don't know if I was. I'm second guessing myself now.
Kurt Thomas.
Okay.
Oh, I liked Kurt Gaylord though. That was a good.
That was Mitch Gaylord.
Mitch Gaylord.
Dude, know your 80s gymnasts, dude.
I'm sorry, bro. I started at Dominique Mucciano and I ended at Dominique Mucciano. The only gymnast that ever mattered to me.
Is that how you said her name? Mooch?
I don't know.
I don't think they call her Mooch.
Dominique Mucciano. As a young boy, I was like at my grandma's house. I remember she had the big like projection TV, and
she was hella short. She was like 4'6" or something.
Yeah, but I was also like 4'6", and I was like, she's the hottest girl that I've ever seen.
She was like 4'6", and her quads were like 4'6" across.
I like.
It was wild.
Show me them thighs, girl. It's okay because I was also 12.
Yeah, no. I was always in love with the gymnasts,
dude.
Well, thanks for the stalling tactics.
That's
appreciate it for my first time out.
Newcomer.
Yeah, it's funny. I was thinking about this, and I've judged many episodes now, and it's almost like I feel like unless I win, I've just lost because people are going to think, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, because you're the judge.
For sure.
I feel like Roger Ebert, the famous. Siskel and Ebert.
We call him Raj.
Yeah. And there was a time when I remember seeing that he actually wrote a screenplay and he did a movie. No. And I remember thinking, well, if Roger Ebert wrote something, it's got to be good because he's the ultimate critic, right?
I know what his movies were. His movies were crazy.
Dude, so one of them came on, and I remember because it was called Beyond the Valley of the Dolls.
Oh, God.
And I watched it one night. It was late night on TV. I was like, well, hey, this is Roger's movie. I'm going to check it out. I bet it's amazing because he knows what he's talking about movies, right?
I've heard of that movie.
Holy shit, that movie's insane. Please smoke something, drink something, watch it, and prepare to have your mind just blown. And it's awful.
Yeah, when you see Roger Ebert, you're like, this guy's going to make some straight and narrow, like artsy, kind of like happy movie. And
it's artsy. It's just really weird. So anyway, I just, going into this, I was a little nervous. And so I'm like, well, shit. Okay, do I practice what I preach? Do I go with my heart? Whatever. But you know what? I'm just going to go with my gut, and I'm going to try to win this fucker.
Let's see it.
I didn't want this pick this early, actually. I wanted a little bit later, but I'm going to go...
Seabiscuit doesn't count.
...with Dominic Toretto, Vin Diesel, and Fast and the Furious.
Oh, we should ask Nate how it goes when you pick Dom Toretto in a draft.
Well, I am filling in.
You just took that pick and threw it on the hood of a car. Very sexy pick.
Yeah, well,
pick that pick up. Threw it on the car.
I'm not a huge fan of the franchise. I've watched the first couple, but
you haven't seen Fast and Furious 9, bro?
No, bro.
There's so many of them.
I just mentioned that he drives a Charger, an old 70 Charger. Mm-hmm. So I mean, he's driving. Yeah. In the I think the initial one, he's driving a pretty sick muscle car.
I heard it makes it faster when the engine pokes out of the hood.
And if you shift like 17 times, I think it makes your car go faster.
My favorite is Dakota Drift.
When they went to South Dakota and had that big race.
Fast Furious 11.
Yeah. Pretty sweet.
Dakota Drift.
Anyway, I know it's just such a huge franchise, and I know there's some serious fucking driving in that.
Dude, when he drives off of Mount Rushmore, I was like, fuck, this is crazy.
Like, oh, he's jumping fucking.
He broke George Washington's nose.
He's jumping his nose.
Washington.
That's how they call it in the Dakotas.
Oh man. All right. Well, it's to Nick.
Yep.
Because Zach, you got that wrap.
Don't
All right.
fuck this up, Nick.
I'm not.
There's one pick that I really
not
want,
scared.
and if you take it, I'm
not
gonna be
scared.
upset. My heart's gonna be upset.
Cold Trickle, Days of Thunder.
Oh, good. Thank God.
There ain't nothing he can't do with a race car.
I'm gonna pull him up from my bronze.
Except for the only thing you can't do with the race car is
Win a draft.
be 5'9".
Or he can't be
NASCAR
6'2".
drivers
He can't
are-
turn into a 6'2" person.
NASCAR driver, actually, drivers in general are little. They're not very big. A lot of these guys are pretty small. Like, I mean, it's not jockey
believe it.
small, but they're all pretty small. Like,
There's a pretty common theme with
think
guys that
gymnasts
have
small.
loud cars. When they pull up in a loud car, you can be sure there's a 5'7" guy getting out of that fucking car.
when they got the raised truck with the giant rims.
Oh,
it's
dude.
like,
They're going
know all about
straight
it.
that
to
dude's
uneven
like
bars.
5'4".
Straight to uneven bars.
But no, I mean, that's the thing is like, I mean, racers, you can't be that big because like you got to be lightweight and you got to be in that small little cockpit. So, all right, Zach, we've got two in a row here.
Reach-a-redo.
Okay, so
All the pressure's on you.
I'm going with two that I think are just unstoppable in this draft. So I'm going with the first one. I'm going the Gozzles as the driver in Drive because I fucking love that movie and it's literally his name, The Driver.
I love that pick. I haven't seen that movie, but when I was researching, I watched the opening sequence, first 10 minutes, and what I loved about it was it wasn't like crazy high speed chasing whatever. It's the smartest driving. Like he's just
Precision.
he's got the radio on. If you guys seen this, have you seen The Driver?
I've seen the opening of it. I haven't
Yeah.
seen
I mean, I've seen Baby Driver, which I mean, I don't need to
and
see
Baby
it.
Driver is like the cute like little
Yeah.
cousin to Driver to me. Or to Drive, but I really like Baby Driver. I can't even shit
Smart
on it.
driving.
As much
Watch
as I
Baby
want to
Driver.
shit on fucking your pick, I love that movie. But
Dude, the scene in Baby Driver when he sees the two red cars and he flips on the freeway, he skids, and then so they go into a tunnel. There's three red cars. He fucking forces the other one to go into the middle lane. So when the chopper that's following them, it sees the three cars, he drifts off to the left, and they follow the middle one. Fucking brilliant.
It's sick. I love Baby Driver,
Did
but I
I
like
talk
Drive
shit on
better
Baby
as a
Driver?
movie.
He's
I'm
getting
coming
awfully
out hard.
defensive over here.
I'm coming out hard because my pick is badass.
the director Nicholas Refn Ramding or whatever his fucking name is. That is a dope one, dude.
What I don't get though is that there was a movie called The Driver in like the 70s that was then his character was called The Driver.
But this movie was called Drive, and it starred the Gozzles.
True. Zach's not lying.
Yeah.
This is true. That is
So
awesome.
and he has a dope.
Why don't you take the
jacket,
driver
son.
and
A
the driver
dope jacket
for your next pick? That would be
because I
awesome.
haven't seen that movie, but I've seen Drive
should
several
take the
times and I
driver,
liked
Zach.
it.
You take
And
the
I like
driver in the driver.
Nicholas Refn Ringdig or whatever the fuck his name is.
I think that might win it for you if you take the driver in Drive
Ring-a-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding.
and the driver in the driver. Dude, you're a winner.
Okay, so with my second pick, I'm not going to listen to Brad and his shitty advice, and I am going to go with Danny Tanner's favorite driver from 1968, Frank Bullitt from the movie Bullitt, because as a young child, I watched Full House a lot, and you know what Danny Tanner does? He talks a lot about the movie Bullitt.
Well, he lives
and
in
so
San Francisco.
it makes me think that is a dope ass driver, and I'm going to take it. And I'm hoping that the Space Cowboy has seen that movie, but I'm not sure.
So you have not seen the movie?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah. So
Worked for Nate the other night.
it worked really well. Yeah, so I have not seen the movie either, but I did watch, and it was labeled the best car chase in cinema history or something
I
like that.
watched the exact same scene.
Yeah, and it was okay.
It was 1967.
It hasn't aged well.
Yeah.
but it's so famous. I'm not saying your pick was bad. It was definitely on my list. But
He's in a 68 Mustang.
Yeah,
Very classic. It's pretty legit.
I'm going to take it with my second pick.
I think it's a solid pick that'll lose.
We have a former judge that's been on this
pick.
A former judge that's been on this draft that I got to give shout out to my Lieutenant Dan, because he had a 70 Mustang and he endoed it into a canal
Oh,
and came out unscathed.
endoed it.
Like flipped it into a canal. And then right after that, you'd think, okay, you got the nice muscle car. Maybe we tone it down. And from that, he went to a 69 GTO, which was, that was his next car.
And
which
now-
was maybe my favorite car I've ever ridden in is his 69 GTO. Cause it was just, it roared. It was badass.
And now he drives a minivan.
fully. I don't know. No, he's got.
Shout out, Lieutenant Dan.
I think he's got a Tesla. He's driving a Tesla.
Oh,
right
dude,
now.
a Tesla. Have you guys? I think I asked you guys this last week.
Yeah,
have
we
you
were
ever
talking about
driven
that.
in a Tesla? Holy fuck, dude!
Yeah, because I mentioned Formula E with the electric cars.
It is wild.
I'm ready.
All right. Real quick, the weirdest shit about the Tesla is the fact that you have to like, you can pay money to upgrade your car and like just it programs it and all of a sudden like you get like the better features.
Dude.
That's such a weird thing. Like
Weird.
that sounds very futuristic.
Video
There's a
game.
button.
It's a
I'm
video
gonna.
game.
I can go on real quick and pay with my credit card, and all of a sudden I upgrade my car, and like now I get the the ludicrous mode or whatever it is.
It's like Candy Crush.
Did you ever pretend when you were a kid that there was like a get shitty button on your car?
get shitty.
Oh, and you'd be like, oh, press the get shitty button, press the get shitty button, and then when like somebody would press the get shitty button, you'd fucking. You'd like do something stupid. I did that a lot.
We've gone plaid.
Gone to plaid.
Dude, I don't know why. Sorry, quick little sidebar here. That reminded me of this story.
See, everybody did that shit.
I know, but not exactly like that. But so I was coming home one day, and I'm turning down my road, and I see, or actually, I'm coming up to my intersection. I see a buddy of mine. I'm not going to name names, but he was in this car, and he had a couple other people in the car. And so we pull up next to each other on the road out in the country, and we're just kind of bullshitting a little bit. And finally, he's like, "Hey, man, what's that thing got?" I'm driving a '66 Mustang. It was my brother's. He was letting me drive it. So I'm like, "All right, let's do it." So we're revving, and we hit it, and we're taking off. And he's in some like just kind of shitty, box of a car. And we're going, and we're up to about maybe 30 or 40 miles an hour going down this road. All of a sudden, he just slams on the brakes, smoke's flying. I'm just like, holy shit, what happened? Like, just stops. And so I go up a little ways, and I go, there's white smoke all over the place. And so I backed up, and I go, dude, what the fuck did you do that for? Why'd you stop? He's like, dude, they're all laughing. He's like, yeah, I accidentally put it in reverse. Oh, shit.
Wow.
How do you even do that? Instantly go from like 30 to 40 miles an hour to reverse.
Oh, my God.
And his car didn't drive home that day.
So, anyway.
Yeesh.
All right. Is that enough time, Nick?
I'm good, yeah.
Now, Dominic Toretto's already been taken, so don't try and pick that shit again. I know how you love bald, short guys.
Surrounded by 3 of them once a week. Once a week,
dude?
Once a week.
You want to go back
Not
to back
tonight,
right now and
not
see who's
tonight.
taller, bro?
Not,
I'll fucking
We did replace
tall.
one bald guy with another bald
I'll
guy.
tall fight you any
we're
day.
not talking about height. Okay. So this guy has a certain set of skills. It's not Liam. He can snap a neck, and he can drive a car. Jason Bourne from the Bourne franchise.
That's a dope pick. I thought you were going Statham, but I like the Bourne pick.
Talk about height. Not having it.
JB? He's probably
No, Jason
5'10".
Statham.
Oh yeah, no, Jason Statham's short.
On my list for sure.
100%.
That-
He drives the shit out of that Mini in the first one.
Hell yeah.
That's one of the great car chase scenes.
It's a great
I
car
think.
chasing.
That Mini Cooper.
Is legit.
Getting it, son.
All right, Mr. Fast and the Furious, you got your second pick here.
Okay. So the first one was for the fans. This pick's for me.
Is it Paul Walker?
Paul Walker. No.
Tyrese.
If you took all 4 of like the main cast members of Fast and Furious, that would be amazing.
It's ludicrous.
I pick Luda.
So this one's actually going to my age group a little bit more than some.
Were there cars then?
There were cars.
Okay.
Son of a bitch.
You gotta
I'm
wind them
going
up.
with the Bandit.
Okay,
Oh.
nice.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Got you.
Nice.
I like how you looked at me and were like, it's a movie called Smokey and the Bandit, Zach. I know you've never seen it. I haven't.
I haven't seen it either.
I haven't.
Put
by
the
the way.
yourself a
Trans Am
favor.
on the map.
Do yourself a favor. It's entertaining and it holds up. Jackie Gleason is his lines,
Except
are
for the rebel flag on his
Well,
license
I
plate,
mean,
but, you know.
come on. I mean, who's next?
Brad.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, I'm doing research.
Oh, so you want us? Okay.
Skid marks.
You want us to talk about your underwear?
So was it Hanes? Was it Tidy Whities? Was it?
It was Tidy
Boxers,
Whities, dude.
please.
This was back in the day. This was for sure Tidy Whities. There's nothing greater than the invention of like colored underwear.
Like brown colored underwear?
Exactly, Nick.
You don't see a lot of people wearing brown colored underwear.
I only wear brown underwear.
It's not really an option. It's
Right?
you got all those other solid colors. Why not brown?
Why not all the ranges of browns?
Right. There's different shades of brown.
Yeah, like if you feel
get
a
into the
little-
yellows, if you're a little
feeling a little
healthier.
loose
Like
that
if you've
day?
eaten a
Yeah.
lot of asparagus,
Exactly.
Right.
like that earthy brown.
Dude, one of our friends
Olive brown.
disclosed to me the other day that that when she eats asparagus, her pee does not smell.
Is she human?
No, dude, isn't that wild?
she of this
well,
earth?
that's what I was gonna say. It was like I was like, have you seen Ex Machina? Because I think you're that girl. But what I was saying was like
Ex machina.
Machina.
But that's
Machina.
all right.
She's an ex. She used to be a machine.
She was a Machina and now she's not. God, you guys in your fucking grammar, please.
Dude, that's
God
what we're here
damn.
for. We're
But yeah,
always
she
gonna be here
said
for
she
sex.
said that she's one of the like the 0.0001% that her pee doesn't change when she eats asparagus, and so
Maybe she has bad smelling.
well, no, we fed her asparagus, and then we all smelled her pee
Did she have COVID?
because I've always had the
We
debate.
fed her asparagus and we smelled her pee.
Well, yeah, we were like eat this asparagus and then pee on our faces.
He had to do
He said it.
That's not what
Hey,
we did,
well, that's
guys.
probably what
That's
it was done.
gross. That's gross. I wouldn't do that. We just
right.
went and stuck our heads in the toilet.
What did you call? Hopefully she reformatted her laundry. What did you call it when you wash, but you don't not reformat?
Oh, when you
it?
repurpose.
Repurpose.
Yeah, when you wash something and then you repurpose it. When you shit in something and you're like, I got to repurpose this.
I
into
gotta
something.
repurpose these
Yeah,
browns.
I repurpose all my shitty underwear into rags. So if you need a rag in my house, I'll just throw you a pair of underwear with some skid marks in it, and you'll be like, all right.
Repurpose my weekend browns.
All right. We don't need any more stalling because I got my 2 picks.
Are you sure? We
I've
got
got my
20
two
more
picks.
minutes on skid marks.
I've got my 2 picks.
I can repurpose the
I think
hell
I'm
out
gonna
of
win
these
this draft
picks.
right now.
Okay.
All right. My first one is going to be
So this is your last 2 picks.
no.
Nope.
This is my second,
second
and
and third.
And then we're going to do a whole nother wrap.
So
All
they're
right.
not your last 2 picks.
So my first pick is going to be one of my favorite scenes. I think I laughed harder just because it was a great line when they in Bad Boys 2 they get Dan Marino. He's about to go on a test drive on a Cadillac. I forgot what the type of car was, but it was like their newest like kind of version of their kind of sedan. And they get Dan Marino out of the car. They overtake his car on police business, and they start driving off. And Will Smith is loving the fact that he's driving this car. He says, Dan Marino should definitely buy this car, but not this car. I'm going to fuck this one up, but definitely buy this car. And that's because Mike Lowry is a fucking badass driver. And I'm taking Mike Lowry
Mike Lowry.
from the Bad Boys series because that motherfucker can drive a car.
When you were talking about Dan Marino, I thought for sure you were going with Ace Ventura driving the car with his head out the window because the windshield was shattered. And he's like barking.
Did you guys hear that? I think I just heard my brother yell, "Idiot!"
Yeah, he definitely did.
on that pick.
He definitely did.
Okay, sorry. What? Okay,
And you
what's
don't
your
hear
next pick?
Tim yell anything.
I was going to say, and with that, he said more than he did on the pod.
Oh, Mike Lowry is a hell of a driver. And if you watch Bad Boys 2, you'll know what I'm talking about. My third pick
Mike
here.
Lowry.
My third pick is going to be this guy has driven the shit out of every Aston Martin you can ever imagine because he's a badass driver. And he'll do tricks. He will avoid things. Shit will come out of the car that you can't even expect. He's blowing motherfuckers away
Which is cheating.
because he's a badass and he's got the right staff to help his cars out. I'm going with James Bond from the Bond franchise.
Jay Beasy.
Nice.
My pick?
No.
Oh, Brad.
Is it a pilot?
like
It doesn't
2
count
picks
as though.
away.
Does it count there was a pilot if your car is also a plane?
Well, there's a lot of driving scenes. There's a lot of driving scenes.
Are you a sailor if it can turn into a fucking submarine?
No, you're a submarinist.
A submarinist?
He's driving it until
Starring Christian
it
Bale?
does those things. He is driving a car until it does those things.
I'll watch that. Join out. The Submarinist. Starring
Fuck yeah,
Christian
bro.
Bales.
He's like, I'm in a metal tube.
Skinny as fuck.
The food ain't great down here, but I'm Christian Bale. If
That
I'm in a
top-
movie, I gotta be skinny or fat. There's no in between.
Oh, we got that Tops Ramens.
All right, Scott, did we steal your pick?
No, you didn't even come close to stealing my picks. I had Bond way down on my list.
Well, because you're not.
I'm not.
very-
I'm-
If we were doing
I'm kidding. I like
skiers-
that pick.
I would pick Bond.
I like that pick a lot. Not as much as this next pick. and you guys are probably going to say I'm an idiot.
Yep. Again?
That's Tim's job.
It's another movie that I know that a couple of you have not seen. And how dare you? It's an older film.
Judging
they
beforehand.
crash because he's such an amazing driver. They destroy a mall.
Oh,
They destroy numerous cop cars.
you're right.
All the cop cars.
All the cop cars. I think they had the record in Hollywood. They still might have it for most car crashes in a single movie scene at one point.
So dope. I have no idea what you're
The
talking
cuts of it look like a junkyard.
Elwood Blues from the Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
about. Oh, okay.
Good pick, and I'm glad you specified Elwood because
Yeah, it's Elwood.
he's the one driving.
What's dope is that you're right. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Right. Well,
Is that Belushi or
That's
Jim?
Dan- it's Dan
is that
Aykroyd.
Jim or John?
it's Dan Aykroyd and it's John Belushi is in the car with him.
It's not Joliet.
That's Jake.
It's Elwood.
So you didn't pick either of the Belushis?
No,
Okay. Just make
I picked Dan Aykroyd, Elwood Blues. He's got EL tattooed on one knuckle and Wood on the other knuckles.
DA.
DA. I didn't know he had him tattooed on. his
DA
knuckles.
Wood.
Yeah. So
Shout out to Dying Breed, sponsored by DA Wood.
the beginning of the movie.
That's right, son.
Jake, they show his knuckles, and it has Jake written across his knuckles when he's like, I think it's when he's getting all his stuff out of the jail. He gets out of prison. Then they show a shot of Elwood waiting in the car, and it shows both his knuckles. And he's got Elwood, like so.
I've never seen
going
Blues
across both
Brothers ever.
You've never seen
Never
it?
jumped in.
Blues Brothers have been drafted quite a bit.
Yeah.
It has. By people that haven't seen it. Scott's the first one that's drafted that's seen it. Good job, Scott.
Well, hey.
All right, Nick.
How many
With the
fucking
pick,
picks
he's
is
got
it until
Cold
me?
Trick. Where are you going?
All right. So
Cold trick.
cold tricks. All right. Well, this was like, we're like in our prime in the 90s.
For sure.
And this was kind of like a pop action movie, but it was all cars and it is all Nick Cage. And you waiting for, was it Dolores, the Shelby?
Yeah. And was my girl Angelina Jolie in this?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And dude, talk about Randall Memphis Reigns could drive a damn Shelby around LA like a mother.
I like that. It's a good pick.
Nate's favorite actor.
Yes, it is. I'm channeling my Nate.
My Nate.
A remake, but it sounds like the remake. A lot of people liked it, so I did not see it.
It was entertaining. It was good. I mean, if you're a car person, I mean, there's no better movie.
But they're trying to steal like 40 cars in like a certain
it's
amount of
like-
time or some
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, they have the deadline, or his brother gets killed, or so.
They've got,
it's
like-
been a long time since I've seen
It was Randall Reigns, correct?
Randall Reigns.
Randall Memphis Reigns.
Memphis Reigns. Okay.
got the kid.
Robert Duvall action. Oh hell yeah! Talking to cars.
And
See again,
Delroy
shit
Lindo,
I like and I
like a
didn't see
butterfly.
it. Shit I like and I didn't see.
Oliphant is in that.
Oh, yeah. Oliphant.
and
It's a hell of a-
Delroy Lindo is they're the cops. Yeah, Oliphant's
it's a
got a
hell
small
of a
part.
cast.
Yeah,
Timothy Oliphant.
Giovanni Ribisi.
Yep.
Oh,
plays
my
the brother.
dude.
Yeah.
Ribisi.
Lots of people in it.
My dude, Frank
Geo
Buffet.
Ribisi.
All right, so this was not your that wasn't your pick, Zach. So you should have
Nope.
a pick ready then.
I'm ready. That was definitely not
You get
my
your
pick.
final two picks here, man.
Reach it,
Fucking
buddy.
kidding me.
Your final two drivers to
Hang on.
take you to safety.
I am going to go with Mel Gibson as Max in Mad Max, the 1979 OG, driving that big O fucking supercharger with the V8 and just generally being a badass. Although my favorite part of that movie is the when the guy tries to catch the boomerang and it fucking cuts his fingers off.
So here's a quick question. When you say OG, which movie are you talking?
78, Mad Max.
Mad Max.
Not beyond
79, I apologize.
So you're not talking about Road Warrior.
or Road Warrior.
I am talking.
Road
You're
Warrior is
talking about
where
Mad
the-
Max.
So the Mad Max is the original movie. And
I am
Road
talking
Warrior
about-
is the one where the boomerang goes into the guy's head.
So you're right. I'm talking about Mad Max.
I'm
I
putting
am
Mad
not
Max
talking about-
franchise because that's what we've been doing
Fair enough.
for
That's
for
fair
enough.
these picks. So.
Fair enough.
I think either pick's fine. I just wanted to, I didn't know if we had to specify.
I just like the fact that he gets to drive in the desert and really he can do whatever he wants because there's no roads.
And it's Mel Gibson,
And
not
it's like-
because
Where we're going?
No. I'm
we
not
don't-
going to the newest
because
one.
Fury
Not
Road.
the newest one. Not the newest
just,
one.
I mean, just for the judge's sake.
Not the newest
hopefully
one.
you're saying the
No Fury Road.
Okay. And then on the Rito,
Oh, it's still me.
it's still you. That's how it works on the
I
rap.
love this game. Okay, so I am going to go with one of Brad's favorite drivers. I'm going to go with stuntman Mike Kurt Russell in the Grindhouse Death Proof movie, 2007, Tarantino.
Not surprised you picked that.
Killing bitches.
Is he a good driver, though?
I think he's amazing.
He's the second best driver in that movie.
That's what I'm saying.
I would not have chosen him, but
Hey, vehicular murders. That's what I thought that part of the thing was vehicular murders, so that's what I went with.
well, Kim's the one who chases him down and has she keeps Zoe Bell on the front of the hood,
Right.
the entire time. And she's a badass because she ends up chasing him down and they fucking wreck his world. So I don't know.
Hey,
Maybe Stuntman Mac is the right pick though. He's got the racing jacket and stuff. So he's
thank
pretty
you.
legit.
I'm going with cool jackets for all of my picks. Thank you very much.
Driver's got a cool jacket, no doubt, no doubt.
So does Mad Max, dude. They all have cool jackets.
You went with the cool jacket team.
Fuck yeah,
Look at
dude.
you got a theme. That should get you blown.
That's 90% of the race.
See,
is the
maybe
cool
in the
jacket.
future we have to name our drafts, and then that kind of ties together your team.
I mean, I
ties
know
the
there's-
room together.
I know there's more picks, but I'm kind of disappointed I didn't go Danny from Greece with my. So I could just have all the cool
Danny
jackets.
Zuko.
Yeah.
He's legit. I actually didn't have him on my list.
No, I didn't even think
No
about
picking
that.
him now because I just tipped you off.
And
you bitches.
the pockmarked dude with the blades on his fucking tires. That
so
guy's vicious.
badass.
All right.
All right.
Nick, your
Well-
final pick.
If you don't chew Big Red, well, fuck you.
What?
Going Ricky Bobby, Talladega Nights.
I didn't think it was going to get back to me.
That was some intense.
Again,
intense
the
shit
second best driver in the movie.
That's not true at all.
100.
Cal Naughton?
Well, then
Dude,
pick the best one.
the French
you
dude.
got a pick coming up. Pick the last one.
Borat was a way better
Show
driver,
us what's
bro.
up, Brad. Show us what's up.
Borat didn't win driving backwards.
That scene in the bar is so fucking great.
It's such a good.
Oh, it's so
when they're discussing should he admit to the crepes or not.
When he starts playing the jazz music with all of their faces.
What's his name comes out of left field. He's like, "This music's hurting my head."
Champs like tweaking.
Yeah, Champ is freaking out. Oh man, but no, he's the second best driver in that movie.
Don't you stick that knife in your leg, Ricky Bobby.
Scotch Beck, we've got your final pick here.
Okay. So this pick, the movies are absolutely ridiculous. But again, to go with the logic of Zach over there,
Super smart logic.
Driver was in Drive, and he's just the driver.
Yeah.
This guy actually has a name, but he also has a job. He's the transporter.
Statham.
Jason Statham in the Transporter series, and I'm going to tell you why. It's because
Do we have a name? Does he have actually?
Frank Martin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to go on record right now and say that Scott is drafting for Nate's wife because those are two of her favorite men, Jason Statham and Dom Toretto. Jesus. Did you talk to Court before the draft?
I did not.
She wasn't like, you
No.
need to pick these bald guys.
Hey, that's my peeps, man.
That's true.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't seen the Transporter, I think I saw the first movie, but the second movie, I caught a scene one time, and it's the most ridiculous thing. And for this move alone,
Is that one called Transported?
Transporter 2.
Okay.
And so there's a scene where
Still transporting.
he's talking to the bad guys. He's talking to the bad guys. He's got his car parked, right? And, they make this deal and they're going to let him go, right? He thinks. And as he's walking back to the car, there's a little puddle underneath the car. And he sees that there's a bomb underneath the car.
Oh, shit.
And so he gets in the car. So he knows he's got a bomb under there. And so he takes off. And so all of a sudden it's like clip back and forth. And the guy's pulling out the detonator. And he's driving. And they're by the docks. And he ends up taking the car, jumping, and the car's flipping. There's a hook going by the loading something. And it knocks the bomb off. The car flips around and he
What?
lands.
And he lands on the wheels?
And he lands on the wheels. It's the stupidest thing, but goddamn it was funny as shit. I laughed so hard, and I go, you know what? That's a great driver,
Bro,
If I'm driving, I'm thinking about that. If I'm driving, how am I going to flip my car, knock this off?
Yeah,
and keep
stick
driving?
the landing. And he stuck the landing,
And the bomb lands on the other car?
and the bomb gets knocked off and blows up in air.
Dude, that makes some of the shit that happened in Fast and the Furious 12 like seem super plausible because that's the most ridiculous shit I have ever heard.
And one of the Fast and Furious is when I saw that they were driving on top of submarines. I was like, how the fuck did they get their cars on top of submarines? I was like, this movie is fucking nuts.
Bonkers.
Driving on top of submarines.
Because the submarine they're driving on ice, and then the submarine breaks through the ice, and they're driving on the submarine. I was like, this shit looks bizarre, and I've never seen a Fast and Furious movie.
I just like where
As much as
Crazy. I don't get it.
movies.
What?
I don't get it.
But Nick, the pitch meeting where there's a bunch of people that get paid to make movies, and they're like, okay, and then it's going to drive onto a submarine, and they're like, fucking print
Yes,
that shit.
yeah, it is.
Let's
Make
go.
this happen.
Yes, sir.
That's cinematic as fuck.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, one of my second or third pick, actually, I just said, you know what, this is going to fall back to me, and I'm very excited about it because there's a great mix here of confident driving and oh shit, I'm about to fucking wreck driving, and he kind of has the face the entire time of like, oh shit, we might crash, but no, I make it out, and that would be our boy Robert De Niro
He does have that face.
in Ronin.
Oh, okay.
Now, Ronin is funny because it was one of the movies that when DVD players were starting to become kind of a common thing, like 96, 97. It was like my junior, senior year. One of my friends that got like the first like DVD player and like a sound system in his house, it was actually Lieutenant Dan. And like one of the movies that I remember we put on was Ronin, just because we wanted to watch this car chase.
He was like, I got Howard the Duck and Ronin. What are we watching?
No, we had Bugs Life and Ronin. We're like and the Matrix. I think were those like the three movies that we
Matrix
had to watch through. And Ronin though, it's like a 7-minute chase scene. It's badass. Robert De Niro doing things. His name's Sam. Love it. Great chase scene. It is a callback to all the 70s great ones that we're going to talk about and also ran. And I love it. So I'm taking Sam from Ronin.
I was watching that clip. I have not seen the movie, but you couldn't have described it better. He doesn't look like he knows what he's doing, and he's just like figuring this thing out as he goes.
He's making moves.
Yeah.
He's making moves. In a little, I think it's like a little Alfa Alfa Romeo, and
Skid mark.
he's cruising along trying to follow this BMW, and it's a legit scene. So, all right. So we've got a lot of good drivers here. We've got 16 of the best drivers in movies. How about some of those guys that did not make? I shouldn't say guys. How about some
Not all guys.
I was going to say
There's
did
definitely
not,
a gal that we didn't pick that probably deserves some. Well, actually, a couple gals that deserve some credit.
You're talking about Icebox from Little Giants?
What?
What does she drive? I don't know. Lawnmower.
What pod are you doing, bro?
Sorry. Is that a different one?
But yeah, we definitely
Greatest sports moments, bro.
we did not represent the females in this draft very well, and because we're a bunch of misogynistic.
Angelina Jolie. I don't know her character's name in Wanted.
It's
and Wanted. I was gonna say in
Sway.
Sway and Gone in 60 Seconds. She's also in that.
Okay, but she's also in Wanted, which was
right.
kind of her starring role where she was like action. I guess she's a good driver in that.
Yeah.
And then Furiosa,
Yeah.
Here for you.
Mad Max, Fury Road.
What about Clark Griswold? One of the greatest drivers of all time.
That would have been a great pick.
That's what I'm saying.
I love it.
If you're going for the laughs, well, if you want to go for laughs, how about the bus driver and Billy Madison?
Oh, shit.
I thought we were going with good
Chris
drivers.
Farley gets so upset with everybody.
I'll drive this bus.
Damn it.
No yelling on the bus.
If pee in your pants is cool, consider me.
And how about another female, Sandra Bullock in Speed,
Yes.
driving the bus?
Annie Porter.
Yeah, she jumps that shit.
Uh-huh.
She does what she needs to do.
I think it's pronounced Sandra, but okay.
Bullock.
Balok. Balak.
I call her Bullock. Another funny one would be if you've ever seen basketball. They get into a taxi and it just has to be driven by the legend himself, Dale Earnhardt.
That's right.
The Intimidator.
That's right.
And he's trucking roadkill and he's just going off. He's like, they say, "Can you drive it faster?" He's like, "Faster? Hell yeah!" He just takes off. It's beautiful.
It's really great.
Strangest cameo I've ever seen in a movie that Dale Earnhardt Dale Earnhardt Sr. happened to show up in basketball. It was beautiful.
Nobody bought the T-shirt.
No.
Niki Lauda.
So who's better, Niki Lauda or James Hunt?
100%
Lauda.
Niki Lauda.
Lauda.
I think
for
so
sure.
too.
He won 3 world championships. He was going to win that world championship. He didn't have his face burned off and had to sit out.
He came back
6 weeks.
the next year with his face burned and won it the following
Yeah,
season.
and then
Yeah.
then he ended up retiring. He came back because he kind of wanted some money because he wanted to fund his airline, and he won another championship in the early 80s. So
Really? Yeah. So he made a return years later and then won again.
yeah,
That's fucking wild.
dude's a driver. He's legit. And then he went on to be a part of F1 here and there, and he ended up with a Mercedes. He actually was like in his last years, his later years, he was with Mercedes. He was like one of their kind of like basically like representatives for the team. Kind of like he'll go out to events and things and stuff. And when he passed away, it was a big deal for F1, both for Ferrari and for Mercedes. And a lot of drivers paid a lot of homage to him, so it was pretty cool.
Great story. Jimmy Popeye Doyle, Gene Hackman, French Connection.
That was
Yeah,
on some list. I've just never seen it.
Yeah, there's
yeah.
some of those old school drivers. I mean, there was the one that I had never heard of, and I watched, which is called the 7-Ups. Our boy Roy Scheider gets behind the wheel of a car and just drives his ass off. His name's Buddy, and he's got an amazing. It's like a 6-7 minute scene that he's driving, and it's awesome. And at the end, he wrecks his car into the back of a diesel truck, and it basically decapitates the entire car. And he just happened to duck, and so like he kind of comes out of it like, oh shit! But like it's a vicious wreck at the end of a race. I mean, at the end of a chase scene. It's pretty.
I remember them when they were marketing the Bourne Identity. I feel like they talked about best car chase since the French Connection. I feel like
French
there was that
Connection, yeah.
talk. Yeah.
What about our boy Peter from Hereditary?
I actually thought about that at one point. I meant to put it on my list. That was one of those things when we were coming up with this draft, I was thinking about it. I was like, that's hilarious. And then I never put it on my list, but I'm glad you reminded me.
So
because that's, oh my Lord, Peter.
That horrible driver.
He's just working on it. He rides his bike now.
Most memorable, he might be number one, but I don't know. But
Pie Man rides his bike now.
I wanted to say Jean Girard, F1 from Formula 1. I mean, that's the driver you want from Talladega Nights because he loses purposefully to Ricky Bobby. He says he had to beat him to like he wanted to make Ricky Bobby a better person. So it's like he even admits that like basically I let you win this race.
He had some Niki Lauda in him for sure.
I don't know about that.
A couple more on my list. Well, John Wick. There's some amazing scenes in John Wick. And then Charlie from The Italian Job, or actually pretty much anybody in the
Dude, Italian Job for sure. I didn't even think of that. Damn.
Those little Mini Coopers with the gold, which
It's
there's no effing way. Like some of those jumps are taking like, they go off this jump and the front of the car is hitting first. It's like, okay, it's got like how many pounds of gold in the back and it's not landing on the back first, but it's really entertaining driving.
What about the kid in Oh Brother Where Art Thou, where he steals the car? He's I'm gonna RUNOFT. And he's got like the little thing on his foot, so he can reach the pedals and everything. Yeah, that's some good shit.
Speed Racer.
Oh,
They made the
Get outta
Wachowskis
here.
made the Speed Racer.
what about
outta
Marty
here.
McFly? The time machine's a fucking car.
He drives in the.
they race.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Is
mean,
Biff a better driver?
he's a driver.
Biff crashes into a.
No, Biff's a shitty driver. He always
manure all
wrecks.
the time.
Yeah, he always wrecks into manure.
That's the only sneaky.
Ken Miles for Ford versus Ferrari. Ford v Ferrari. We did not take Ken Miles, who was legitimately one of the best drivers of all time, until he crashed and killed himself.
Batman?
Yeah, I thought about that, man. Yeah.
Did you guys see with Charlie Sheen, the Wraith, back in the day in the 80s?
How about
He had this like silver, like cool ass car, and it was kind of almost like drag racing. It was almost like a drag racing movie, and it was pretty legit.
Yeah, but it was like some sort of supernatural shit too, right?
I don't remember.
It was like a wraith is like some sort of like angel thing.
I know,
or
but
something.
his
Yeah.
car was like fucking like super cool. I
So-
just remember it was like I don't know.
So
super,
speaking of Charlie Sheen, you brought up this movie before, The Chase.
Oh,
And
he's driving her little Beamer.
He's going down the road, and they bone while they're on TV, and he's driving and boning at the same time. That's a pretty legit movie.
He does. Yeah, if we were doing
It's
most
called
memorable,
bone driving.
It's called The Chase.
Yeah, he legit
Chase.
fucks her while they're driving.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's some skills.
Driving that stick shit.
And that's when
son.
Flea and Anthony Kiedis come out of left field and try to drive him off the road.
Monster
and they
truck.
wreck. Yeah.
What about Harrison Ford in American Graffiti? Bob Falfa. Mm-hmm. That's a drag race.
Okay.
But then actually the other guy ended up winning. The one who's kind of cruising around, who has the girl in the front seat, kind of the whole night. I mean, have you guys seen American Graffiti?
Nope.
Long time ago.
You act like we're from Modesto. Bro.
Hey, Lucas, come on our pod, man. We've never seen American Graffiti. We'd love to talk about it with you.
As the resident 70-year-old, I have not seen that movie.
Kowalski, Barry Newman, and Vanishing Point. Vanishing Point is just a straight up. It's a 70 Dodge Charger. He's just got to get this car to where he's supposed to take this car from I think it's like Colorado to San Francisco. Basically, the entire thing's a chase, and it's badass.
There was an instant classic that came out a couple years ago called Pixels with my dude Tyrion Lannister and Billy Madison. And there is some serious racing. They also go with the Mini Coopers.
That's right.
And they fight Pac-Man while driving the cars. And I don't know if you guys have seen it, but you should if you haven't.
Well, on that note, there's a couple actually one's a Disney animation, but Big Hero 6, there's a chase scene in a minivan, which is pretty solid. Mm-hmm. And then
Big Hero 6 is like the most underrated Pixar-esque movie.
It's such a good movie.
It's
Love that
so
movie.
fucking
Super
good.
legit. And then, of course, we didn't talk about Lightning McQueen.
I was just about to bring that up.
I mean, they're sentient cars. Are they drivers? I don't know what that even means.
I like when Lightning McQueen wins the race and the two Miatas pull up and then flash their headlights, and we're supposed to think they just showed them their nips.
So Pixar has done a couple little sneak things like that. That's one. And then in the movie Ratatouille, when Linguini's explaining to his girl like why he's like, I have a tiny little, and he's talking about the rat that's in his hat. He says tiny little, and Colette, who he's talking to, her eyes dart down to his crotch for a second. And it's like they do little subtle things like that kids are not even going to have a chance of paying attention to, but adults are like, oh, I see what you're doing, Pixar.
I love animated dick.
All right, well,
How about Dirk Diggler for driving that shit home, baby?
Speaking of dick,
driving. He knows how to drive.
That's a Tim Beck right there. I'm gonna give him full credit for that.
Tim. I thought you were saying like when he gets in the Corvette to drive off.
Right. No, nope.
But yeah, no, wow, he does a lot of driving. And then of course the joke that we've I think already made on the pod a couple times, driving Miss Daisy.
well, I mean, your boy Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. Let's all do our worst impression of Morgan Freeman right now.
Miss
not touching
Daisy,
it. I'm not
Miss
touching it.
Daisy, I'd like you to take the stick now.
All right, so hey, our boy, he's already been on here before. Maurice, he's judged when we did the best kill lines in a movie. He's coming back, but you know what? He showed up a little early, and we said, "Hey, you see that Pinto we've got out here? We got a Pinto off of eBay for like $500, and we said, jump in that Pinto." Houston's not a big town. Can you just drive around it a few
This fucking
times?
guy was like, "You guys overpaid for this car."
Can you do a few laps? We're going to time you and see how fast you can get around here, and we're going to just keep track of it. And then as soon as we're done, we'll let you start judging. And he hopped in, and he's taking off. So there he goes.
Let's go. I want to know if I won.
So we'll see you on a little bit. Maurice is coming in to judge. Take care, folks.
California has the largest population in the United States and the site of some of the most famous true crime cases in history. But there's more than meets the eye to the crime in California. Join Sean, Jessica, and Charles on the California True Crime Podcast as they cover crime both infamous and overlooked from around our state, while looking at the deeper history that goes beyond beaches and movie stars.
What's up? We are back, folks. And we sent Maurice off in that Pinto and we said, do some laps and we're going to time them. And so I think it was like when you tell a little kid when they're like, oh, time me. You're like, all right, I'm gonna time you. Ready, set, go. And then you don't do anything. And then they come back and you're like, oh, it's 18 seconds. Good job, Maurice. All right, go around one more time. We're still drafting. And he's just been driving around the block. We're telling him, oh, you did better that time, dude. It's 14 seconds that time. Maurice, how'd that Pinto drive? Was it a good ride?
Hell no, it's rickety. a lot of noise.
A lot of noise. Well, we apologize for putting you up. We tried to get you a Lambo or something, but no, you know what?
BVK's budget is a little lower than we thought it was going to be, so the Pinto it was.
I did think
with gas prices the way they are, I'll take the Pinto.
We tried to lease a Sorrento, but it just wasn't happening.
Well, I was surprised how quick he did get back to us on that because, I mean, it was like I told Nick, I was like, it's like when you're on trial and the jury deliberates for like 10 minutes. And I'm like, oh shit, this might be bad.
This is bad for somebody.
Maurice put the speed on it. I mean, because you've got some experience drag racing, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
So what is your fastest quarter mile of your career whenever you've raced? What's the fastest you've done a quarter mile?
13 seconds.
13 seconds. And what were you driving? And what were you driving?
This is gonna make everybody laugh, but it was a Geo Tracker.
Shut up.
The 13-second quarter mile in a Geo Tracker. That's amazing.
Brad, do you remember the car?
I remember you. Oh yeah, I remember that shit was pulled up to Outback all the time. Oh yeah,
absolutely.
He had that thing souped up. It was not the Geo Tracker that you were thinking of. This thing had some kick to it.
So Maurice, you're a two-time judge. We haven't had too many people judge twice, except for Scotch Beck, who happens to be here drafting. He's judged like 15 times, and the next closest I think is you with 2 judgments. So how do you feel about judging our draft today?
That's awesome. I'm happy that I get to get somebody some ass tonight.
You're going to kick a few people in the ass, and you're going to get somebody some ass.
Somebody's going home dry, and somebody's getting something.
Good shit. So our movie this week was Rush, which is it's a Formula One racing movie. But like, I wanted to hear kind of Maurice. You've watched a lot of racing movies and driving movies.
I've watched Rush before, absolutely.
So what type of racing movies or driving movies kind of like are your favorites? Which ones like stick out to you?
Like Death Race is a good one.
Okay.
Transponder's always a great one. Those are awesome. I'm gonna say it, all goddamn 12 of the Fast and Furiouses, even when it ain't came out yet.
Really?
Even when they're driving on submarines and shit?
The thing that got me was the flying in space in the damn Fiera. That took the cake from me. That was like, okay, enough's enough.
Hey, can you imagine the writer's room where they're all just sitting around trying to come up with these ideas of like what they're going to do next? That's just got to be bizarre where they can just think of whatever the hell they want and they're like, let's make this happen.
What do you think about the
Pontiac Fiera and put him in a scuba suit and stick him in space? At that point in time, somebody should have got fired.
They're like, fuck it, we're putting it on screen.
We're gonna promote you.
Like, how'd that make it past the cutting room floor? That's all I want to know. Like, who was like, yeah, you know what, we're doing this private screening, and that scene was awesome.
Dude, the fact that they filmed it in the first place is absolutely insane. The second part of it is that they were like, we just spent $10 million on that sequence. There's no way we're cutting that shit. It's staying in the movie.
And those movies make like $100 million each, no problem either. Like,
yeah, it was a good investment for them.
Hey, so Marisa, you're a big drag racer. So like, and I know you've been involved in drag racing a long time. Is there any movies that kind of highlight drag racing in your opinion?
No.
Besides Grease.
Yeah, that's just, no. Honestly, no, not really. Not to the extent.
I can think of one
on the big screen.
Yeah. I can think of one. The movie Parenthood, which came out in like the late '80s. Keanu Reeves is a drag racer, and he like wrecks his drag racer. Yeah. In the one race that they show in the movie, he flips his drag racer. So it's like it's like the old like the hot fuel drags or whatever they're called, Top Fuel.
Yeah. Like, the only one that's close, honestly, is maybe, like, the first Fast and Furious. Like, that is the closest you're going to get. Because, honestly, the scene at the time was somewhat like that, but not to that extreme.
Yeah, street racing and stuff like that.
Maurice, are you still involved in the street racing scene or
Absolutely.
Really? Okay, so
yeah.
So the other day we have a gas station in town, Moe's Oasis. and I go there in the middle of the night. I'm going over to Scotch Beck's house, and I pulled into the gas station, and we're talking, Maurice, there was 40 cars in there, all souped up. Everybody's parked. Everybody's partying, smoking, drinking, having a good old time. And by the time I went into the store and came out, they were all gone. And I had to think those guys were going out into the country to race each other, right? Is that stuff still going on?
That still goes on. So when I go out, though, it's full blown race cars. Like when I go out, it's, it could be a Monday night at midnight, and you pull up and there's 2 trailers. They unhook the, load the trailer down, and it's 2 cars that got 2,000 horsepower, and they're racing for $10,000.
And are people? That's what I was gonna say. So people are betting, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Well, I'll say I went out to in my younger days. I went out a few times to California Street or the California Road or California Street out in Modesto, and they used to do a lot of street racing out there. And I remember one time, guy pulled up and he had a van. It was like an old school like Volkswagen van on a trailer, and I was like, what the hell is that? And that thing all of a sudden started flying down the road, and we were like, holy shit. So yeah, people bring up some crazy vehicles out there, like Geo Trackers and shit like that. That's wild.
Yeah, no, like if you ever go to my Instagram, you'll see some of the races that I've recorded, and it's a lot of money on the line. It is insane to watch.
And it's all, is it illegal? I mean, I know maybe you don't want to talk about it.
There is legal ones, and then there are illegal ones.
Right.
And I'll post them both.
That's awesome.
And that's Mob Media or Mo B Media.
Yeah.
And that's on Instagram, right? At Mo B Media. Do you call it Mob Media?
Mob Media, that's what it is.
Yeah, because I know your name, Mo B, so
yeah, so go check out Mob Media on Instagram and see all of Maurice's races.
If you want to see the baddest actual drag races, legal drag races and the illegal drag races, it's on there.
Yeah, oh no, and he's got great footage. It all looks beautiful. Like he's got right there as they're at the start and stuff. He's got
you're out
beautiful
there with
footage.
You're out there with legit cameras filming this stuff and documenting it. That's kind of what you do, right, Maurice?
Absolutely. GoPros, drones, you name it.
Oh, really? Drones and stuff? That's awesome.
Oh yeah, no,
absolutely.
This dude's doing it right. Yeah, it's good shit. So, all right. Well, here we are. We're about to award a win. So this is Scotch Beck's first draft. So if he somehow comes out with this W on his first draft, we're gonna be surprised. But I'm hoping that's not the case. But you've got 3 longtime veteran drafters here as well.
Now take a second, Maurice, and run us through how you judged everybody. Don't give anything away. But what was your criteria? Yeah,
that was beautiful though. We loved it. We absolutely loved it last time.
Yeah, last time Maurice was like, "This guy sucked." But I'm curious what your criteria was for how you picked the winning team or how you picked the losing team.
Driving scenes.
Okay, so what makes a great driving scene to Maurice is what I'm asking, basically.
Speed, elusiveness, the car, just a little bit of everything.
So if the car is more badass in your mind, that makes the scene more badass.
Absolutely.
I think I agree.
And so you're feeling something that just kind of you just feel it. Like I really felt something when I watched that scene. Like it meant something to me.
Like if I go, this motherfucker's driving. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You have those feelings in movies. Like, yeah, he's driving.
All right.
How fast have you gone in a car, Maurice?
140.
That's pretty fast. What kind of car was that? Was that a Geo Tracker?
No, that was an Acura Integra.
Oh, okay.
And it scared the shit out of me.
Which is wild when you think that some of these drivers are in race car drivers, especially going up to 200, 210.
Oh yeah, they're talking about
just on the freeway. Things start moving really fast at 140.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you're saying you did that in public? Oh shit.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh, there's no statute of limitations on BVK. We're not turning anybody in.
When you see trees on the side of the road moving by, it moves by really fast at that speed.
Yeah, you would not want to make contact, no doubt. All right, so what we're going to do here is normally the way we do it is we're going to have you kind of go from worst to first. So you'll start off with your worst team. You'll announce that team. We'll read the team. You'll kind of tell us your thoughts on it. And then we'll go to the third place. We'll go to second place, and we'll end up with a winner.
Okay, so the loser to me is the person in that room 40 or I'm gonna say 70 years old?
Oh boy.
Because I don't think any movie
neither.
I don't think any movie they picked was made after 1985.
Who was this?
What team is it?
Team 4.
Oh, God damn it. I knew it was going to be
Mad
me.
Max. Like, hell, I was like 4. I got Mad Max. He was a bad motherfucker. But the rest of these guys.
Well, two of them surprisingly are 2000s. The driver from Drive.
That's even worse. Oh, the driver. That's from the damn video game.
No, there was a video game driver, but this is the one with
Ryan
Gosling. Ryan Gosling is
You lose if you pick the guy from The Notebook. You lose automatically. Hey. that's done.
You should have known that, Zach.
Maurice, you got to watch that movie, dog. That movie's dope.
He's saying you should have watched The Notebook.
Oh man!
And there's nobody that plays in a Notebook that can be a good driver. That disqualifies. Oh,
let me announce this team real quick. That was Team 4, which had the driver from the movie Drive, Frank Bullitt from Bullitt, Max from Mad Max franchise, and Stuntman Mike from Death Proof.
Dude, Maurice, you picked the youngest guy in the room too. This is fucked up.
What the hell? He's an old soul.
The best part is like I thought you were talking about me just because I am the oldest guy in the room.
I was looking at I was looking at the teams. I was like, okay, this could go two ways, but here we go. All right, so that's Team 4.
Well, hey, you guys,
or the fourth place team.
Nate's not here, so somebody has to get last. So I guess it's me today.
I'm just gonna say, in that spot, why didn't he pick Paul Walker?
Bro, I hate those movies. I can't.
That's not the point.
I can't.
Trying to win a draft?
Exactly.
Hey, in fantasy football, we got to draft players that we don't like sometimes.
Are you a Raider fan too? I'm just asking. Are you a Raider fan?
I'm a Niner fan, bud.
Zach,
Niners all day.
He's one of us, Mo. He's one of us.
That recoups it because he's like, it don't matter. I just want speed. Like
Al Davis. Oh God, that was perfect.
All right, so there's our fourth place team. So now we're moving on to the third place. They're not last, but they're not quite second.
That's third.
They're not last, but they're not second.
Oh man, I gotta go. I'm gonna say Team 1 was the third place.
Oh, Team 1 is Baby from Baby Driver.
Your boy,
Mike Lowry from Bad Boys franchise.
I like Baby Driver. I liked him.
Okay.
You lost me with Mike Lowry. He wasn't really a driver.
Wait, yes, Mike Lowry. Marcus was in the passenger seat. Mike was driving. He drove that Cadillac, Dan Marino's Cadillac.
I could have did that.
I thought Mike was a pretty good driver. And then we had James Bond and then Sam from Ronin, Robert De Niro, and one of the longest.
Yeah, Baby's the only one that really drove and got away all the damn time.
Okay. Baby's legit. I was happy to have that as the number one pick.
That was the number one pick.
That opening scene is one of my favorite things I've ever watched. Like I was like,
now he shouldn't have been a number one pick.
Oh,
agreed. Okay. I don't say it yet, but I want to know who your number one pick is because I know it's Dom Toretto, but we'll move on.
It is. I knew it. And it's just because of the scope of all the movies. He's just
No, Maurice, it's because he's a drag racer and you're a drag racer and you're biased.
No.
Hey, you know why? No, it's because you know what? I know Maurice, and Maurice cares about family.
Oh, that's why.
All right, so that was our third place team. Now we're down to the nitty-gritty.
If Scott Beck wins, I quit the podcast.
It's coming down to our newcomer and Nick, who's got the most wins in the whole thing right now.
Oh, come on.
So we're either...
wow. Team 3 got second place for me.
Oh, damn it.
Wow.
Scott.
All right, hold on a second. Let me say the team here. Team 3 is Cole Trickle, Days of Thunder, Jason Bourne franchise, Randall Memphis Reigns from Gone in 60 Seconds, and Ricky Bobby from Talladega Nights.
Did I fuck up with Talladega Nights, Maurice?
No, that was great.
Okay.
That, you ain't first and last. That's awesome.
Okay. Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's a winner.
Memphis Reigns is a good one too. He was an awesome driver. He fucked that car up though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He made it.
Yep.
He made it.
Yeah, that car was in bad shape at the end there.
He made it to the docks.
Bourne, he was pretty badass too. You can't take a car off a parking garage and do all the other shit and not be a good driver.
Mm-hmm.
Cole Trickle, he was a good driver, but it was the crew chief that made him good. Because he didn't know what the fuck he was really doing.
Old ass Robert Duvall wasn't out there driving the car.
Robert Duvall made him a driver.
He did. He didn't know what the fuck he was doing.
He was eating ice cream.
He was just going fast.
Hey, Tom Cruise won that foot race, though. Robert Duvall with those high hands ain't winning shit.
So if you would have put Paul Walker right there, or Frankenstein from Death Race right there,
Yeah,
so hands down.
See, I don't know Frankenstein from Death Race. Damn it.
You never seen Death Race?
No.
Never.
He was on my list. Yeah.
No.
Wow.
I got homework.
Disrespectful.
Oh, damn.
All right. Well, that leaves
Disrespect.
the new
Think about it. You guys are doing driver movies, and you didn't watch something called Death Race.
I know.
Maurice, we watch a lot of movies on this podcast, and there's always one every week where someone's like, I can't believe you haven't fucking seen that movie. And we're like, dude, I watched 6 movies this week. Like, come on.
Oh man, I still got some homework I got to do for future pods.
Scotch
I'm
Beck.
behind on some movies, but all right. Team two was Dominic Toretto, Fast and the Furious franchise. Smokey and the Bandit, Elwood Blues, the Blues Brothers, and Frank Martin from the Transporter franchise.
I can't believe that team beat my team. That's some fucking
Why
bullshit.
not?
Because, dude,
The Blues-
you're talking about
the
old
Blues
people.
Brothers-
Blues Brothers, dude. Blues Brothers.
You haven't seen that fucking
I've
movie.
never even seen that movie, Maurice.
That's really disrespectful.
That's what I'm talking about.
Really disrespectful.
Thank you.
That is really, really disrespectful.
All right. So what was your favorites on that team? Obviously Toretto, you're number one overall.
Frank. Now, is this where they drafted him also? Because to get Frank Martin at the bottom, killer.
Yeah.
You're correct. That was his last
That was
pick.
a snake draft. It was a snake
No,
draft.
he killed it. He absolutely killed it. The Blues Brothers, his whole team got away all movie long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were constantly being chased.
Movies, and they're constantly being chased.
They all got away. It was good enough for second place.
Same thing for
Good job.
Smokey. Smokey constantly being chased, and he's getting.
You're
Let's
talking
just
a
say,
lot for fucking fourth
Let's just
place.
say, Toretto drove a car underneath a semi-truck.
Yeah, so did fucking Griswold, dude.
Yeah, Clark
Griswold drove
and
underneath the
Christmas
semi truck
Vacation did
too.
that too.
He also slapped himself with a pissy bologna sandwich.
Oh, so is it? That one stood out to you, Team 2?
Yeah, absolutely. Those are good, solid picks.
All right,
Those are
read
good
the
solid picks.
championship team now. I want to hear what
we did.
freaking Scott Beck. That was the championship team right there?
Yeah, we mentioned it, and you weren't happy with it.
I'm still not happy
Immediately disagreed with
with
it.
it. I thought that was Nick's team. I'm even less happy now.
Wow, Scotch.
Number 4
coming
shouldn't even
in
allowed to go home and jack off.
You're right if he wasn't home already.
If I wasn't already at my house and already jacking
He'd be
off,
walking.
Maurice, I'd be with you, dude.
His wife's not even home, so maybe she won't even come home at all.
She works night shift, bro. She's gone. I'm just gonna go to bed and just lay down.
Okay, you know what? Just to be fair, you got to leave the towel hard on the counter. You got to mess up one of her good dish towels.
I'm just gonna pull it up into my waistband and just punish myself all evening. Just go to sleep with a fucking loaded gun. If you
His
know what I
wife's
mean.
gonna shove the tape recorder in his mouth and curb stomp him, just like Rush.
Yeah, punch him in the nose.
Bite the talk, boy.
She's gonna shove that rag in his mouth and curb stomp him.
Got to turn one of the good dish towels to a plate.
She's gonna make him eat dinner off it.
Oh boy!
Oh my gosh.
Well, Maurice, man, every time we have you on here, it is good times. It is laughs. It is great.
Damn.
And I love the fact that we had a real racer, somebody who's been in a car, driving fast.
Yeah.
Someone who obviously knows how to pick a good film and made amazing choices.
Hey, Maurice, you know what I'd like to do? And you made me think of it earlier. Like, some of these races have got to be in our area. Maybe next time you hit us up and we come out and watch some of these races. That would be kind of sweet.
So the next one we have is in Sonoma, April 23rd and 4th.
I want an illegal one. I want an illegal one.
He can't announce those. He'll hit me up and let me know.
How close are you guys to like Patterson area?
Oh, yeah. We can get up
about
there.
35, 40 minutes.
Okay, yeah. Well, next time something pops off, I'll let you know.
Dude,
that's a perfect area because that's way out.
yeah,
nothing
there's a
out there.
bunch of straight roads. Let Brad know. I'd like to check that out. That sounds super cool.
Hey, Mo, real quick, what are some of the drivers that we did not choose? You said Frankenstein from Death Race. Is there anybody else that we did not select that you were looking for?
Him, Paul Walker, and Brian, those are the two that kind of just got missed. That's about it. Other than that, you guys got pretty much all of them.
All right. That's not
all right.
You got pretty much got all of them.
But I got more than you guys did.
And I did forget John Wick can drive the shit out of a car too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's on my list. He's on my also rounds as well.
Yep.
I almost went with him, but I thought Frank from Transporter was just, I had to go in that last round. I couldn't believe he dropped in the 4th round.
Well, he was telling us, Scotch, that I haven't seen a lot of Transporter movies, but he has a bomb on the bottom of his car, and he flips his car.
Oh shit! With the hook? Oh man! He snaps that thing over and knocks the bomb off of the crane,
and sticks to the landing.
That's just good timing,
yeah,
man.
Absolutely, in a 4,000-pound Audi. Who does that?
That's so ridiculous, but I love it. All right,
Dude,
Maurice.
Thank you so much, Maurice. We appreciate you,
thanks,
man.
Maurice.
Always
Also,
appreciating you
if you
coming
got
on,
time,
man.
Thank you, Maurice.
Discovery Channel, March 21st. It's called America's List. Check it out.
Oh, okay.
What is that?
It's called America's List. It's on the Discovery Channel. Street Outlaws America's List. Check it out.
America's List.
All right.
You might catch me on there.
Oh,
okay.
shit.
Oh, damn.
All right.
And hey, everybody don't forget to check out Mob Media, right?
Mob Media, at Mob Media, Instagram. Hell yeah, you get to see some great.
Or the YouTube channel. They're on there too.
Okay. Mob Media as well?
Absolutely.
All right. Mob Media, YouTube, Instagram. Check that shit out. See some great racing action. I was actually showing one of our old guests, Mike, who came on our episode. He races
VW Bugs.
Yeah, Volkswagens. And so I was showing him some of your stuff. I was like, oh, check out my boy. He's got a lot of drag racing stuff going on too. So good shit, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right, Mo. Take care, man. Always good to talk to you, and I look forward to a good Niners season, and our fantasy football draft is not too far away. So
let's go, Trey Lance. Let's go, Trey Lance.
It's the Trey Lance era.
We need somebody to give us a number 1 for Jimmy. What the fuck is going on? Come on.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give you a number 1 for Jimmy.
No, bro. Hey, I found out today, Maurice, check this out. I found out today that the Washington Commanders gave up 2 number 2s and 2 number 3s for Carson Wentz. Are you fucking kidding me?
Deshaun
and we
Watson
can't even get a number 2 for Jimmy Garoppolo?
Deshaun Watson screwed a lot because once he was found, there was no charges. Now that's like the guy everybody's looking at. Otherwise, if Deshaun Watson was in the picture, Jimmy G's the guy everybody's looking at.
We're about to get to Forrest Buckner in a number 2.
The Falcons,
from the Colts.
If we get to Forrest Buckner,
shit.
I will do a backflip in the front yard.
Let's get him back.
Dude, we lost Raheem Mostert today.
The Falcons told Matt Ryan today, hey, we're kicking the tires on Deshaun Watson. And the same thing with the Browns. The Browns were like, hey, Baker.
That's crazy.
Baker already said bye to Cleveland.
They might cut Baker even if they don't get Deshaun.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild. If you guys wanted our NFL analysis, by the time you guys hear this, all these guys are going to be all picked up. Everything's going to be all nice and tidy.
Settled, but we're a little upset right now as Niner fans. So, all right, Mo. Hey, you have a great night and great to talk to you, bro. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Maurice.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, Bob.
Later, man. Fuck.
What in the hell? You invite a guy to a draft. It's kind of like, let's
have some manners.
Let's be nice and have Scotch come in.
No, we need to discuss what we do now because now Scott now has the same amount of wins as I do.
I love that.
I mean, Zach, I have a question.
Can I have your win?
How come it's so hard for you, buddy? It's not that hard. See,
he makes it so.
This dude's like Brock Lesnar coming to the WWE. He doesn't show up for any of the shows, but then he'll come in and win the title like at Royal Rumble or some shit.
What's weird is Scott also has a big knife tattooed on his chest.
That kind of looks
just
like a penis.
My boy Brock.
Unfortunately, it's a butter knife.
I just compared you to Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. He's like, it's a pen knife. I'm like, looks more like a penis knife.
I mean, I guess the best person to draft is the person who judges all the drafts. So, I mean, that seems like they know what to do.
Yeah. I think that
checks out, Zach. I'm
pissed right now.
So, Nate gets my win, right?
No, not at all.
Your win, much like Nick's.
This isn't like fucking Game of
preseason.
Thrones where it's like trial by combat, and I hire Scotch Beck.
Because I'm just saying, from now on, if any guys want to,
We're gonna add
Price
your
is
win.
Right.
I
We're
mean,
gonna
Nate
add-
might be paying you now. He's like, we're gonna be talking about the draft, and all of a sudden, Scotch is gonna come sit down, and we're like, "What are you doing?" Nate drafted me. I'm now drafting for
my champion. I've selected my champion. No, we're gonna put your win with all of Nick's preseason wins. They mean nothing now. Thank you for participating. That was awesome.
You know what it means to me? One and done, baby. One and
Yeah,
one.
try getting asked back now, motherfucker.
if I was Nate, I would be like kind of looking over my shoulder because all of a sudden it's gonna be like Nancy Kerrigan gonna get kneecapped. Oh, Nate can't make the draft. I guess I'm back. Start scooping up those
Scott and
wins.
Tanya
Knee
Harding.
contusion.
Seriously, guys, though, I really appreciate you guys letting me sit in and do it because honestly, I love being on the pod in general. Just being any part of it's great. But I've always had this little part of me is like, man, I'd really love to draft something.
You know what? I liked you a lot better in the background, so
I know.
I'm pissed about this.
Dude, I'm happy.
God damn it.
Zach's coming in with a
I
champion
can't
next
wait
week.
to see what your brother says about this. Like,
I know. It'll
He'll
be
probably be
interesting.
like, okay.
Yeah.
if he fully agrees, that's going to be like, oh man.
Tim's gonna have a list. I want to see all his writing.
Tim,
And I'm
put
not gonna
that
tell
list
him.
together. Tim, put that list together. We
No,
got
you
to see
shouldn't
with
tell him.
all
Tell him.
the bloody details. We want to find out how you feel about this actual result.
We all pick a champion and we're standing behind them for next week's draft, and they pick.
We're all just going to be having our champions show. Right now. This is going to get ridiculous.
I'm gonna be like, this is my 11-year-old son, Hunter. Here we go.
Well, so thank you guys, and I'll go back to my role of making stupid songs.
Dude,
and
nice
commercials
job,
now.
Scott. It was a hell of a team.
It was
Thanks,
good
guys.
stuff.
Don't
So
listen
Who would have
Nick.
known I blew
Don't-
it with Trickle?
Don't listen to Nick. You know, the guy
Trickle.
picked Cole Trickle for the draft. What a fucking idiot.
I'm only.
I mean, he's only dressed up on like multiple occasions.
That's true. Your wife does look great in that curly wig.
she does.
There's a lot of opinions coming to the right of me.
Oh, shut up, Scott.
Way too many. The most out of the table.
I mean, we talked about the
The
ball gag.
sanctions that are coming on
This
Zach
might
over the
actually
next
have
month.
to happen. This ball gag might need to be purchased and placed
my
into the
God.
mouth of
We need
fourth
to give
place.
this
That
dude.
is what we need to do. Fourth place
Yeah,
has to
we
wear a
talked
ball
about
gag for
this
the rest
already.
of the. Dude, I am in.
You need to be.
And I just go volume down.
Did you just hear it in the distance?
muffled.
Yeah, it's going to be coming through our mics, not yours. All right. So next week we've got.
Can I hang on to that ball gag?
Yeah,
I like that.
take it home. BVK is going on the road, and we're actually going to be. Your next few weeks of pods are going to be coming up in all from kind of the same session. The BVK podcast is going down to LA.
Fuck, pull back the curtain, Brad.
We're going to meet with some folks, and we're going to go talk to some folks and have some
Hollywood.
interesting guests. We're going to Hollywood it up a little bit, and you're going to hear some pods over the next few weeks that are all coming out of the Los Angeles area. So I think our first pod that you're going to be hearing is going to be led by Nate, and it's going to be about a man who has a special set of skills, and that would be the movie Taken. with Lou
Certain
Reese.
or special? Certain.
Is certain set of
Oh, he does
skills.
have certain.
It's Nate's movie, and if you ask
Goddamn.
him, he won't know the quote.
I just fucked it up just like Nate would. I'm semi
He would
embarrassed by
be.
that.
He would be proud of you.
That is so on brand.
Two of the iconic lines. Nate fucks one up. I fuck the other. That's great. Awesome. So, but we're gonna have a little special guest on that episode. That's gonna be interesting, and he has some experience in Interpol. So it's going to be a very related type of a situation, and we'll talk about that when you get to that episode. So look forward to that. I think next Tuesday.
Is that all we can divulge right now? Can you give him a little more than that? I feel like we should tease the fuck out of this.
Interpol was pretty good.
He was a working actor. He's from Iceland.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I'm
There's,
in.
as
Zach was waiting for us.
has been noted, I
So-
love nothing more than foreign bad guys.
That's what we've got. We've got a little situation here, and we'll find out about that a little bit more when you tune in next week. So other than that, anything else?
Nice work, Zach. And once again, beautiful work on the draft.
Scott, since you're fucking here, and I'm pissed that you're here, but can you plug your show that you got coming up in a month?
I can. I've got a couple things I'd like to plug. So April 6th at Last Call Brewing, the creators of the BVK IPA.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm going to be playing a solo show all by myself.
I didn't even know about that.
That is a Wednesday night.
So Wednesday night, and I think you guys might be recording a podcast. So thanks for showing up.
We might be doing it from Last Call Brewing.
Who knows? Then after that, so I'll be playing with Flying Blind on the old drum set at the Central Valley Brew Fest in Turlock on May 7th. So
May
in Turlock.
7th. That is a fun time,
That's a
folks.
good time.
They have all the local breweries are showing up, even some from out of town. They're coming in, and you get to drink a lot. You get to hear some great music.
And then the next weekend is Park and Stock, right?
So then the following weekend, it's another solo show. I'm doing Park and Stock at Blaker Brewing and Series, and they're up to 6 different artists / bands. I think there's a band, and then the rest of it are kind of like solo, just acoustic singers like myself. And I think that's starting around 2 p.m. or whatever. You can find more information on the Facebooks and stuff. Like, so look up. I'm going to try to put some of these dates on my website or find me on Facebook and all that stuff.
And we'll be promoting those on the BVK socials as well.
So what if I showed up to your solo show and just like tried to get first place in your draft? What would you think about that? Fucking asshole.
How would you do that? Would you just like steal his guitar in the middle of it and start playing?
No, I would just steal his guitar, period.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, do something now.
It would be great if you just walked up next to him and just started playing your guitar.
Could
start
start
singing your
drafting
own
now.
song.
Try and draft without
That's
your
actually
guitar.
genius. Just walk up and slowly unplug his shit and then just start playing right next to him. Oh, I love that. That's kind of what he did to us tonight. He was just showed up and
did.
fucking took the spotlight. God damn it.
Walked in, wrecked shop, walking out.
Yeah. One and done. We're going to try to make sure that is the one and done.
All right, party people. Everybody go watch.
Nobody wants you to come back, Scotch.
Go watch Taken. Try and forget about Scotch Beck's fucking tainted win, and we'll see you next
Go
week.
watch Rush and then Taken.
Bye-bye.
I wanna be at Beverly's, bringing me home with my movies, just to blind by, no reason why. I love this scene. Nick Natek and Brad, your favorite podcast. Let's start this.